Yogi, what is going on, beautiful people? I hope and pray that y'all are all doing just incredibly well. So, on this video, I want to discuss the assignment of contract, okay? And understanding the difference between an assignor and an assignee. So, you're not going to want to miss this, all right? Now, before we dive into it, please like, subscribe, share all those amazing things. And of course, check out the descriptions below. Incredible events coming up very, very soon. Now, one of my community members that's in my mentorship just got their very first deal and they found an end buyer for that property. So now this is where it gets really exciting, okay? This is where you write what is called an assignment of contract to your end buyer. And I'm actually going to pull up an example here and we're going to go through this together. But basically what you're doing is you are taking your contract between you and your property owner, right? And now assigning that property owner or that contract, excuse me, to your end buyer. You see what I'm saying? So this is where that second piece of paper comes into play. Most assignment of contracts are very simple. They're typically just one, maybe 2 pages max. Period. Okay. So don't overcomplicate it, but I will show you where most people get confused because on your contracts, it's typically going to ask you for an assignee and an assignor. Okay. And this is where folks get confused. So on this example, this is a standard, simple assignment contract. If you see at the very top, it has the property address right up here, right? It's going to have a closing date on or before. I'll actually tell you a little secret that I like to do. Let's say, for example, on the contract that I filled out between me and my seller, let's say that contract closing date is, I don't know, May 30th, right? Well, if it's May 30th, I'm going to put right here on my end buyer to close before my other contract ends. So I may put May 20th on a closing date right here. Am I making sense? So what ends up happening, let's say, for example, my end buyer backs out for whatever reason, right? Now I still have time to go and find another end buyer and my contract between me and my property owner doesn't terminate, all right? Hopefully I explained that correctly. Let me know in the comments if I lost you, okay? But I just want to know that, or want you to know, that's a little secret, okay? Prime example, I have had buyers back out. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen, and you want to make sure that you're prepared, okay? Now, this agreement is made between your name, okay, or your LLC. So whatever name that you put on your purchase agreement, okay, you are the assignor, okay? That's who you are in this place. And then your buyer, your end buyer, is the assignee. That's the biggest thing that most people get confused, or they end up getting them a little bit backwards, okay? So just remember this and just kind of save this as a reference for you, right? Ask your end buyer, hey, what name do you want me to put on the assignment of contract? Their personal name, their business, their entity, their LLC, etc. Whatever name they want the contract in, that's what'll go right here. And then it says, what? Basically, this means what contract are you assigning? I'm assigning my contract between me and the property owner, okay? So that's what's being assigned over here, all right? Now, I put on there an assignee price. If my price with my seller is $200,000, then you want to put whatever your assignment fee is going to be. If you assigned it for $270, put $270. If you assigned it for $210, put $210 there, okay? Here's the biggest thing as well. You want to make sure that they put or pay a $5,000 non-refundable deposit, all right? We require all of our end buyers to put a $5,000 non-refundable deposit. And guess what? They do not get any option period. So what this means is they need to run all of their numbers. They need to do all of their due diligence beforehand, right? To make sure that they're ready to go. Why this is so crucial and so important is because you don't want a buyer backing out on a family member, or not a family member, or a seller that is potentially facing foreclosure. Are you with me? Like, what if they're facing foreclosure? You only have about 2 weeks to get that deal closed, and then your seller backs out last minute. You don't want that. When they actually put that $5,000 down, they put that skin in the game. They're a little more locked in. I would venture to say that 90% of those deals are going to get closed once they put that deposit down. So that's why we do this, okay? But I hope, oh, let me also share with you too. Just finish the contract up. But once you got that filled up, then you sign it, they sign it, you send it over to the title company, okay? Super, super simple. You can actually use this for a template. There's some that you can get online. They don't have to be anything intent. You can even use some off of ChatGPT or whatever it may be. Typically, those are going to be pretty good. So that's a little hack right there for you, okay? But I pray this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if it was. And this way you have a very clear idea on how to write up your assignment of contract so you can start closing deals. See y'all.